Chosen one. Stop scrolling right now, not later. Not after another video. You did not find this recording by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here today. The universe orchestrated this exact intersection in time because you are under attack. Listen carefully to my voice. What I am about to tell you will change everything. You are completely exhausted. Your body feels heavy. The weight on your chest is real. And every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting there before you even open your eyes. You push through your day. You smile for everyone else. But inside you are barely holding on. You think you are just tired from working, but you are entirely wrong. This is not normal physical fatigue. This is a targeted spiritual attack meant to drain your light. You have been fighting battles in the unseen realm while your physical body sleeps. That is exactly why you wake up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart. The system wants you to believe you are losing your mind. You feel incredibly isolated right now. People you trusted have suddenly pulled away. The room goes quiet when you walk in. You can feel the strange tension in the air, but no one says a word. They misunderstand your silence. They whisper behind your back. And you are left wondering what you did to deserve this sudden coldness. You did nothing wrong at all. Your kindness was never a mistake. The truth is that your spiritual frequency has shifted dramatically in the last 72 hours. You carry a light that exposes their hidden darkness. People do not pull away from you because you are flawed. They pull away because your presence forces them to face their own demons. The enemy has been launching a silent war against your mind. You feel sudden waves of anxiety that do not even belong to you. Your thoughts spiral out of control. You doubt your own intuition. This is a deliberate strategy to keep you trapped in survival mode. The Matrix knows that a confused chosen one cannot step into their full divine authority. You have carried the emotional garbage of everyone around you. You act as a spiritual shield for your family. You absorb their chaos so they can have peace. But nobody ever checks on your heavy heart. Nobody asks how the strong person is actually doing today. You cry in your car when no one is watching. You wipe your tears and step back into the battlefield. But heaven has been watching your silent struggle. I see you. I have always seen you. The world may ignore your massive sacrifice, but the spiritual realm keeps a perfect record of every tear you cried. You are not invisible to the divine forces. A profound verdict was just issued over your life. The season of you being a spiritual punching bag is over. You have unknown friends in high places. There is a massive spiritual hierarchy fighting on your behalf right now. You thought you were walking through this fire completely alone. You thought heaven had abandoned you to the wolves, but there are warrior angels stationed around your energy field at this very moment. They are preparing to strike back. The group that came against you is starting to panic. They thought their secret plot would break your spirit forever. They thought they could drain your resources and leave you with nothing. But they made a catastrophic spiritual miscalculation. They targeted a chosen one who is deeply protected by forces they cannot even begin to comprehend. Think back to the strange events of this past week. The sudden delays, the doors that slammed shut in your face, the opportunities that vanished into thin air. You cried out in frustration. You asked why life had to be so relentlessly hard. But you must understand that those closed doors were not rejections, because they were literal acts of divine rescue. Your unseen friends blocked those paths to save your life. If you had walked through that specific door, it would have destroyed your frequency. The delay you are experiencing right now is exactness. Heaven is holding you back so the trap ahead of you can be dismantled. You are not falling behind. You are being perfectly preserved for the ultimate reveal. You must stop running from this quiet ache in your chest. Let the noise leave your mind for just a moment. Take a deep breath right now. Drop your shoulders and listen. The spiritual warfare you have endured is absolute proof of your immense value. The enemy does not send an entire army to attack an empty vault, because they only attack when you hold the ultimate treasure. Your spirit has been exhausted because you are breaking generational curses. You are fighting cycles of poverty and emotional abuse that started long before you were even born. The dark forces tried to break your mind so you would give up, but the cycle ends entirely with you. You are the quiet victor holding the line for your entire bloodline today. You look at your empty phone and feel a deep sense of loss. You wonder why everyone suddenly stopped calling you. The silence in your home feels incredibly loud, but you must stop viewing this quiet season as a punishment, because the universe did not forget about your beautiful existence, and the divine forces did not leave you to navigate this harsh and bitter reality completely alone, while the unseen enemy attacks your exhausted mind. This deep isolation you are feeling is not a cruel rejection. It is a strict and necessary divine quarantine. Heaven is deliberately pulling you away from the noise. You carry a unique frequency that the Matrix desperately wants to corrupt. And if you stayed connected to those low vibrational people, they would have eventually drained your spiritual bank account down to absolute zero. Think about the people you used to spend your precious time with. They constantly complained about their miserable lives. They gossiped and spread toxic energy everywhere they went. You tried to help them heal with your pure heart. You offered them your precious light, but they never wanted to heal, because they only wanted to drag you down into their comfortable and familiar darkness. The system trains vulnerable people to fear being alone in the dark. Society tells you that your worth is measured by your social circle, but chosen ones are not built for superficial connections. You were designed to operate on a completely different frequency. And heaven knows perfectly well that your next massive upgrade requires absolute silence and intense spiritual focus from your soul. If God wants to hand you the keys to the kingdom, He cannot give them to you in a crowded room. There are too many spiritual thieves hiding in your inner circle. They smile in your face while plotting your inevitable downfall. The divine quarantine is the only way to protect your blessings. The universe is aggressively stripping away the fake friends, and heaven is isolating your energy to keep your future completely safe from their dark intentions. You might feel incredibly lonely on some quiet nights. You might miss the comforting illusion of having a community around you. But that community was secretly feeding on your divine energy. They used you as their personal therapist to dump their heavy emotional baggage on your shoulders. And the very moment you finally stopped fixing their miserable problems, they quickly turned their backs on you without any hesitation. Let them walk away without putting up a single fight. Do not chase after people who completely misunderstand your pure spirit. Your energy is incredibly expensive. You can no longer afford to spend it on their cheap drama. The isolation is a clear sign that you are leveling up, because heaven is clearing the stage before a massive divine intervention takes place in your life. The Matrix heavily relies on your constant and mindless distraction. The system wants you hopelessly addicted to fake external validation. But the divine quarantine forces you to look deep inward. It forces you to confront your own massive hidden potential. You are finally beginning to realize how incredibly powerful you are without their heavy and toxic influence weighing down your beautiful spirit. This period of intense solitude is your ultimate spiritual cocoon. You are undergoing a profound cellular transformation right now. Your mind is being rewired to hold a ridiculous amount of authority. You cannot bring your old fragile mindset into this brilliant new season. The silence is absolutely necessary for you to hear the subtle instructions from your unseen friends in high places. You are a magnificent masterpiece of the grand creator. A masterpiece is never mass-produced in a loud factory. It is crafted in absolute secrecy. It is hidden away until the perfect moment of revelation arrives. You are being kept in the dark so your light can grow exponentially stronger, and the world will soon witness the incredible results of this necessary spiritual isolation. Do not view this quiet time as a miserable failure. It is the ultimate divine setup for your massive comeback. You are protected from the psychic attacks of the wandering sleepers. The Matrix cannot track your movements when you operate in the shadows. You have slipped off their radar entirely, and now your divine protectors can properly equip you for the incredible mission that lies ahead. Every time you feel the sharp sting of loneliness, remind yourself of this absolute truth. You are not missing out on anything real. The wild parties and the loud gatherings are just empty illusions. You are being rigorously prepared for a royal and unmatched destiny. The universe is treating you exactly like royalty by building a massive fortress of solitude around your precious soul. Embrace the divine quarantine with an entirely open heart. Stop fighting the healing quietness. Let the profound peace settle deeply into your weary bones. Your unseen friends are actively patrolling the invisible borders of your energy field right now. They are making absolutely sure that nothing toxic can touch you, and you must understand that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Now we must uncover the hidden truth about your secret enemies. You need to understand exactly what happened behind your back. The people who smiled brightly in your face were secretly plotting your destruction. They launched a massive and coordinated smear campaign against you. And they did it all in the dark because they were absolutely terrified of your pure and blinding light. They whispered incredibly toxic lies to anyone who would listen. They twisted your genuine words and viciously assassinated your character. They wanted to make sure that no one would ever trust your intentions again. The Matrix constantly uses these empty vessels to isolate chosen ones, because they know that a fully supported chosen one is a massive threat to their dark system. You deeply felt the sudden shift in their foul energy. You walked into crowded rooms and felt the heavy judgment staring right back at you. You desperately tried to defend yourself. You tried to gently explain your pure intentions to their deaf ears. But they were deeply committed to misunderstanding you, and they had already decided you were the terrible villain in their fake narrative. Why did they target your soul with such vicious hatred? They did not hate you for your human flaws. They hated you for your profound and unbreakable divine connection. They clearly saw the incredible favor that rested heavily on your life. They realized that no matter how hard they worked, they could never replicate your authority, and their intense jealousy quickly turned into absolute malice. These specific enemies are completely empty and hollow inside. They operate constantly on a low and desperate parasite frequency. They need to drain the life force of someone powerful just to survive the day. You were their prime target because your light is incredibly blinding. They wanted to steal your joy, and they thought they could break your spirit by turning your community against you. They held secret meetings to discuss your inevitable downfall. They celebrated loudly when you stumbled. They smiled with pure satisfaction when you cried. But they made a fatal spiritual error. They thought you were just a normal and unprotected person, but they had absolutely no idea that you are heavily guarded by unknown friends in high places. Every single time they spoke your name in pure malice, they were literally cursing their own miserable lives. The spiritual realm operates on strict and unbreakable universal laws. Whatever dark energy they send out must eventually return to them heavily multiplied. They truly thought they were burying you under their toxic lies, but they were actually digging their own massive spiritual graves. The coordinated smear campaign was a very desperate move. The enemy knew their limited time was rapidly running out. They could clearly sense the massive frequency shift happening in your spiritual life. They tried to throw dirty mud on your name to stop your elevation. But mud is exactly what a powerful seed needs to grow, and their toxic actions accidentally watered your beautiful destiny. You must never seek revenge against these lost people. Do not lower your high vibration by fighting pigs in the mud. The mud is their comfortable, natural home. You are a discerning warrior who operates from the high ground. Your divine silence is the ultimate weapon against their chaotic noise. So you must step back entirely and let the divine forces handle their harsh and inevitable punishment. Heaven specifically allowed this painful betrayal for a very important reason. God needed to show you exactly who these fake people really were. The deceptive masks had to fall off before you could move to the next level. If they stayed in your precious life, they would have completely poisoned your upcoming blessings, because the smear campaign was a painful but necessary spiritual cleanse. You lost a few fake friends, and you lost some temporary opportunities, but you gained an incredibly unshakable and pure spiritual clarity. You now know exactly who you can safely trust. You have finally developed a razor-sharp and powerful intuition. You can spot a fake and deceptive smile from a mile away, and the enemy thought they were destroying you while they actually forged you into a weapon. Their dark and wicked plot has officially failed today. The absolute truth is slowly starting to leak out into the open. The very people they turned against you are beginning to see right through their desperate lies. The Matrix cannot maintain a fake and fragile narrative forever. The light of justice always pierces through the thickest darkness, and your good name is being cleared in the unseen realm. Keep your royal head held incredibly high right now. Do not let their past toxic actions dictate your current and beautiful peace. You survived a calculated spiritual attack that would have easily crushed a completely normal person. You walked through the dark valley of betrayal and came out completely purified, and your unknown friends are extremely proud of your quiet and unbending resilience today. The heavy season of hidden and cowardly attacks is finally ending. The enemy is completely exhausted from trying to bring your massive spirit down. They are running completely out of toxic ammunition, and now the spiritual tables are violently turning in your absolute favor. You are about to witness the spectacular collapse of their dark empire, so sit back in your quiet authority and watch the vindication unfold. You need to understand the exact trap your enemies laid out for you. They thought their coordinated attack would finally break your spirit and leave you defenseless, but they completely failed to realize who was actually watching their every single move in the dark. The smear campaign was never going to work, because heaven had already dispatched an elite guard to protect your name. Who exactly are these unknown friends in high places? They are not human allies with fragile loyalties and hidden agendas. They are ancient warrior angels stationed permanently around your energetic field. The universe assigned them to you the very moment you took your first breath on this earth. They operate completely outside the corrupted matrix, and their only mission is your absolute survival. These divine protectors do not play by the unfair rules of human society. They do not care about social status or financial wealth or public opinions. They only respond to the pure frequency of a chosen one who is crying out for justice. Every time you wept in silence, these powerful entities recorded the exact identity of the person who hurt you. They have been building a massive case. You have felt their subtle presence many times before. Do you remember when you narrowly escaped that terrible situation, and you could not explain how? That was not a random twist of human fate. That was a literal physical intervention by your spiritual shield. They stepped into the physical realm for a split second to pull you out of immediate danger. Your unknown friends possess authority that makes earthly kings look completely powerless. They can shut the mouths of lions, and they can blind the eyes of your most vicious enemies. When someone tries to cast a dark spell or send negative energy your way, these guardians intercept it instantly. They catch the toxic arrows in midair, and they send them flying right back to the original sender. The system desperately tries to convince you that angels are just gentle myths. They want you to picture soft creatures playing harps in the distant clouds. But the truth is that your protectors are fierce and terrifying warriors of pure blinding light. They carry swords of spiritual fire that can easily sever any generational curse, attempting to choke your magnificent destiny. You are never walking alone in those dark and lonely spaces. Even when you are driving in your car or sitting in an empty room, you are heavily surrounded. The atmosphere around you is constantly buzzing with high-dimensional activity. You are a highly valued asset to the Grand Creator, and heaven does not leave its most precious investments unguarded in hostile enemy territory. This is exactly why you have survived things that should have easily destroyed your mind. The trauma and the abuse were meant to permanently shatter your delicate soul. But the divine forces literally held the fragile pieces of your heart together. They whispered quiet words of supreme comfort into your spirit while you slept, ensuring you would wake up with just enough strength to try again. Now I must reveal something even more profound about your current situation. There are 3 silent signs that these divine forces are actively cleansing your environment right now. Sign number 1 is the sudden, unexplainable quietness in your mind today. The constant mental chatter and the heavy spiritual exhaustion have mysteriously evaporated without any logical human reason. Sign number 2 is the sudden departure of people who seemed completely loyal yesterday. Your unknown friends are forcefully removing anyone who carries a hidden dagger behind their back. They are not asking for your human permission to clear the room. They are aggressively evicting the toxic spirits that have been secretly feeding on your beautiful and trusting energy. Many chosen ones fail to recognize sign number 3, and it costs them their peace. We will get to that final sign in just a moment. But first you must understand the sheer scale of the invisible army fighting for you. We are talking about legions of spiritual beings who move at the speed of human thought. They are orchestrating massive shifts in the global frequency just to align your path. The Matrix operates on fear and scarcity and constant brutal competition, but your unseen friends operate on absolute abundance and divine timing. They are pulling invisible strings in the high courts of heaven right now. They are securing resources and massive deposits that will soon manifest in your physical reality. You are being completely insulated from the coming global chaos. Let this truth settle deeply into your weary and exhausted bones. You are heavily defended by the most powerful forces in the entire universe. No weapon formed against your life will ever prosper, because the shield is impenetrable. The enemy can scheme and whisper in the shadows all they want, but they cannot touch a single hair on your head without absolute divine permission. You can finally stop looking over your tired shoulder. You can stop anticipating the next terrible betrayal or the next painful loss. Your spiritual bodyguards have officially taken over the night watch. They are demanding that you rest your mind and recover your physical strength. You are completely safe in this sacred bubble, and nothing from the lower matrix can breach this wall of fire. The third silent sign of your divine cleansing is the undeniable panic in the enemy camp. You can actually feel their sudden confusion and their growing desperation. The narcissists and the manipulators who thought they had you cornered are suddenly making massive mistakes. The spiritual atmosphere has shifted against them, and their dark empire is beginning to crack wide open. The tide is violently turning in your absolute favor today. For years, you were the one constantly retreating and defending your pure energy. You took the heavy blows and you absorbed the brutal shocks of their toxicity. But heaven has officially flipped the script on your abusers. The hunters have suddenly become the hunted, and they have absolutely nowhere left to hide. They are starting to realize exactly who they have been messing with all this time. When they first targeted you, they thought you were just a weak and overly sensitive person. They mistook your profound kindness for foolish vulnerability. They truly believed they could steal your bright light and leave you in the miserable dark without facing any consequences. But now the terrifying truth is dawning on their wicked minds. They are witnessing your unexplainable resilience, and it terrifies their hollow souls. They threw their heaviest curses at your life, but you are still standing tall. They tried to ruin your finances and destroy your reputation, yet somehow you are radiating more peace than ever before. This defies all of their twisted logic. Gently like this video, not for an algorithm, but as an act of spiritual agreement. Let the universe know that you are fully claiming this massive power shift. The simple act of agreement seals the divine protection around your frequency. Your unseen friends are watching your physical reactions right now, and they are waiting for you to step boldly into your newfound unshakable authority. Panic is a highly contagious disease in the lower spiritual realms. Your enemies are turning on each other like starving wolves in a tiny cage. The alliances they built on gossip and mutual hatred are rapidly dissolving. Because their dark magic no longer works on you, they are forced to feed on their own toxic energy. The backstabbing in their camp is absolutely relentless right now. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your honor. Heaven is acting as your fierce defense attorney and your absolute judge. The confusion they desperately tried to cast into your mind is now flooding their own lives. They cannot sleep at night. They are constantly plagued by terrifying nightmares and a deep, unshakable dread that severe karma is finally knocking on their door. This brings us to the fatal spiritual error that your enemies committed. They made one specific mistake that guaranteed their absolute destruction. They forgot that when you touch a chosen one, you are directly challenging the grand creator. They did not just attack a normal human being on earth. They declared a foolish war against the highest heavenly courts, and they cannot win. The Matrix leaders and the energy vampires always make this exact same miscalculation. Their massive egos blind them to the true spiritual hierarchy. They see your earthly struggles and they assume heaven has abandoned your cause. But they fail to realize that your struggles were just a training ground. God was using their wickedness to sharpen you into a lethal and precise spiritual weapon. Now their time is completely up, and the hourglass is entirely empty. The divine forces are stripping away their unearned wealth and their fake social status. Everything they built on a foundation of lies is crumbling into dust. You might not see it fully in the physical realm just yet, but in the unseen spirit world, their mighty fortresses have already been burned to the absolute ground. You can feel the heavy chains of their oppression falling off your shoulders. The heavy fog that clouded your brilliant mind is lifting rapidly. You are breathing easier today because the psychic attacks have been forcefully neutralized. Your unknown friends have established a permanent perimeter around your life. Any dark entity that tries to cross that sacred line will be destroyed. Do you see how incredibly powerful you are now? The system tried everything to keep you asleep and unaware of this massive truth. They wanted you to believe that you were a victim of random bad circumstances. But there are absolutely no accidents in the life of a chosen one. Every single attack was deliberately allowed just so heaven could demonstrate its overwhelming power in your defense. Your enemies are watching you closely from a distance. They are stalking your digital footprints, and they are asking mutual friends about your progress. They expect to see you broken and spiritually drained and begging for their toxic help. But instead, they see a quiet victor glowing with an untouchable divine peace. Your powerful silence is driving them absolutely insane with burning curiosity. Let them wonder how you survived the fiery furnace without even smelling like smoke. Let them consume themselves with bitter jealousy as your new season of abundance begins to unfold. The heavy karmic debt they accumulated is now due in full. You are stepping out of the chaotic battlefield, and heaven is about to issue the final and devastating decree over their miserable lives very soon. The glorious moment has finally arrived. The universe is stepping forward to defend you. The highest court of heaven is now officially in session. Every single secret tear you cried in the dark has been carefully weighed. And the final verdict over your life and your hidden enemies is being permanently decreed right now. I declare right now that the season of you being a footstool for their fragile ego is permanently over. The heavy chains of generational trauma are violently breaking. The poverty stops completely with you. The anxiety ends with you. You are the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire family line. Those who sat at comfortable tables and spoke poorly of your pure name are about to witness a massive shift. God is preparing a spectacular feast for you right in front of their jealous eyes. You do not have to lift a single physical finger today. You do not even have to defend your quiet honor. Heaven is stepping in forcefully as your ultimate defense attorney. The intense confusion they tried to cast onto your beautiful life is returning directly to their own dark camp. Watch them panic desperately as your divine peace becomes entirely untouchable and completely immune to their toxic attacks today. The massive karmic wheel is turning with terrifying speed right now. Every wicked lie they told about you is becoming their own permanent spiritual prison. The universe is rapidly stripping away their unearned comfort. They will watch you rise to incredible heights while they remain stuck in their own toxic mud. In the mighty name of the Grand Creator, I break every dark cycle trying to choke your magnificent destiny. The heavy, suffocating mantle of survival mode is falling off your tired shoulders in this exact second. You are no longer just surviving the brutal and relentless attacks of the corrupted Matrix. You are stepping boldly into a divine and unprecedented era of absolute abundance. Breathe that beautiful and healing truth out right now. The brutal spiritual war you fought so bravely for your bloodline has been decisively won. The enemy is completely defeated, and their dark weapons are entirely broken. The system is absolutely terrified, because the Matrix cannot control a chosen one who knows their exact divine worth. They desperately wanted you exhausted. They wanted you financially broken so you would settle for their miserable crumbs. But their dark and manipulative system has just completely fractured. A divine frequency of massive abundance is currently overriding the long, painful delay in your life. The universe is unlocking a mega deposit of wealth and deep spiritual authority. The elite circles desperately tried to keep this massive blessing entirely hidden from you for many long and difficult decades. But the Grand Creator is bypassing their corrupted earthly systems today. You are not trapped at the miserable bottom anymore. You are holding the massive golden keys to the entire unseen kingdom. The invisible forces are actively clearing your path and destroying every single obstacle standing in your way. The dark spirits that tormented your family for many generations are fleeing in absolute terror today. They clearly see the towering warrior angels standing right beside you. They know they have lost their toxic grip on your bloodline forever, and you have officially taken back your stolen divine power. Every massive door that was slammed violently in your face is being ripped completely off its hinges. The universe is granting you incredible access to rooms you never even dreamed of entering. The foolish people who rejected you will literally have to stand in line just to witness your breathtaking divine elevation. Let the massive weight of this beautiful divine vindication wash over your weary soul right now. You are officially released from the heavy burden of healing people who want to stay permanently broken. Your massive spiritual debts have been entirely wiped clean by the absolute highest heavenly courts. Heaven is stepping in forcefully to multiply everything that the unseen enemy stole from you. Your bitter tears are turning into liquid gold. Your long sleepless nights are being converted into years of unshakable peace. The glorious morning has finally broken through your darkest and most terrifying night. You have survived the fiery wilderness, and you are stepping confidently into your promised land. The incredible vindication is complete. The glorious victory is completely yours. Stand tall and let out a massive breath of relief, because the painful and exhausting battle is finally over for good today. Your unknown friends in high places are surrounding you with a brilliant shield of pure light. The vicious matrix can no longer track your divine frequency or drain your precious energy. You have been entirely upgraded and permanently sealed. Your new spectacular reality is manifesting right before your eyes. Now you must understand the single most important rule of your massive new elevation. The universe has handed you incredible spiritual power, but you must handle it with extreme caution. You absolutely cannot carry your old reckless habits into this glorious and highly sensitive new season of absolute abundance. When you see the heavy karma finally hitting your secret enemies, you must remain completely quiet. Do not laugh loudly at their sudden and inevitable downfall. Do not post about your glorious victory on the internet for the entire world to see. Your absolute and unbothered silence is your very best protection. Public gloating quickly lowers your beautiful high frequency back down to their miserable level. If you celebrate their painful destruction, you are telling the universe that you are still deeply attached to their daily drama. You must completely detach your pure energy from their dark and rapidly sinking ship. Let them completely misunderstand your quiet nature. Let them assume whatever crazy things they want about your new, peaceful life. You no longer need to explain your magnificent soul to foolish people who are deeply committed to misunderstanding your spirit. You have entered the sacred sanctuary of quiet authority. Your divine energy is way too expensive to spend on their incredibly cheap daily drama. From this very moment forward, your silent presence alone will command immense respect in any room you enter. Your ability to remain completely unbothered will be your absolute greatest weapon against the fading dark matrix. When the massive financial blessings and the incredible new opportunities start rolling in, you must keep your mouth firmly shut. Do not tell your casual friends or your deeply jealous family members about your incoming wealth. The enemy loves to use the people closest to you to intercept your massive blessings. Move in absolute silence, like a gentle and invisible shadow. Build your beautiful new life entirely in the dark, where the corrupted matrix cannot track your incredible progress. Heaven wants to surprise the watching world with your success, and premature talking will only invite unnecessary spiritual warfare. You are officially transitioning from a tired spiritual warrior into a peaceful and quiet ruler. A true powerful king or queen does not scream loudly to prove they have massive authority. They simply sit entirely relaxed on their royal throne and allow their quiet, undeniable presence to speak for itself. The brutal battles you fought so bravely in secret are about to reward you massively in public, but you must stay incredibly grounded and entirely humble. Do not let the sudden rush of divine favor inflate your fragile human ego. Maintain your deep daily connection with your powerful unseen friends in high places. Remember the strange isolation you felt at the very beginning of this painful journey. That divine quarantine is still partially in effect to completely protect your new delicate frequency. You must be extremely picky and highly selective about who you allow into your inner circle moving forward from this day. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your beautiful and glorious divine restoration. Some toxic people only want to be near you so they can secretly siphon your new abundant energy. Guard your sacred peace with your entire life, and do not compromise your strict boundaries for absolutely anyone ever again. You have walked through the brutal fire completely alone. You carried the heavy weight of others while absolutely no one checked on your beautiful broken heart. But you survived the terrifying wilderness, and you came out completely purified by the incredibly intense divine flames of the grand universal creator. Heaven knows exactly how much it cost you to keep your beautiful heart pure. The dark world desperately tried to make you incredibly bitter and terribly cold. But you chose radical love and divine forgiveness, even when you were bleeding heavily from their vicious and completely cowardly backstabbing. If this sacred space has been your safe sanctuary today, you have a profound chance to align your energy. If this message lifted a heavy burden off your soul, consider sowing a generous seed of gratitude in the pinned comment below. This simple act of alignment heavily multiplies your upcoming massive harvest. Your gentle and generous support keeps this spiritual lighthouse burning brightly for the next exhausted chosen one. Someone else is crying in the dark right now, thinking they are completely alone. Your pure alignment helps us reach them and pull them safely out of the collapsing matrix before it is too late. Take one final deep breath and release all the remaining tension from your weary physical body. You are deeply loved and fiercely protected by forces you cannot even see. Step boldly into your new season of quiet authority and watch how beautifully heaven continues to move on your absolute behalf today. We have finally reached the very end of this profound spiritual journey together today. The heavy lifting in the unseen realm is now completely over. You have heard the massive verdict that the universe just issued over your beautiful life. And now we must properly seal this incredible divine energy so the lower matrix cannot steal it from your grasp. Your unknown friends in high places are standing completely still right now. They are watching you closely and waiting for your final physical confirmation. The spiritual realm always requires a physical act of agreement to lock the newly established boundaries into permanent place. You must close every single energetic door that the enemy once used. Close your weary eyes for just a moment and completely drop your heavy shoulders. Take one incredibly deep breath and hold it tightly in your lungs. Now, release all that trapped toxic air back into the fading matrix. You are breathing out the years of painful isolation and breathing in the absolute certainty of your divine protection. You are entirely safe now. In the mighty name of the Grand Creator, I officially seal this powerful prophetic word over your magnificent life. I decree that no wandering spirit or jealous human can ever intercept the massive blessings heading your way. Your frequency is now locked safely behind a towering wall of divine fire that burns away all impure intentions instantly. The people who once drained your precious light are now permanently blocked from your sacred energy field. Their toxic thoughts and bitter words will dissolve into absolute nothingness before they even reach your peaceful ears. You have been beautifully upgraded from a struggling survivor into an untouchable and quiet ruler of your own grand destiny. Do not look back at the burning bridges that heaven just destroyed for your ultimate and absolute good. There is absolutely nothing left for you in those old chaotic and miserable spaces. Your glorious future requires your complete and undivided attention today. Keep your eyes firmly fixed on the beautiful horizon, because your mega deposit is arriving right on time. Subscribe to this peaceful sanctuary so the enemy cannot intercept your future divine messages. We do not do this for any worldly numbers or meaningless algorithms. We do this to build a massive spiritual fortress for chosen ones to safely gather. Lock your high frequency in with us and completely protect your precious mind from the noisy and corrupted matrix. Leave a word in the comments below as a permanent spiritual seal of your final heavenly agreement. You do not need to write a long or complicated story for the world to see. Simply typing the word Amen creates a physical anchor for this massive heavenly decree. It tells your unseen friends that you fully accept your glorious and quiet new authority. You might feel a sudden urge to sleep deeply after hearing this profound and heavy message today. Do not fight that heavy and peaceful exhaustion. Your physical vessel needs adequate time to properly integrate these massive energetic upgrades. Go to sleep, knowing that your spiritual bodyguards are keeping the night watch. They will never abandon their sacred post. The long and bitter season of you constantly proving your worth to blind people is finally finished. You are a masterpiece of the Grand Creator, and a masterpiece simply exists in absolute quiet glory. You do not need to shout your absolute truth because heaven is already fighting your secret battles. Rest in the beautiful knowledge that you are completely vindicated. Let the profound silence of this moment sink deeply into your weary and exhausted human bones. You are no longer the frightened black sheep trying to fit into a broken and toxic family. You are the chosen cycle breaker who successfully carried the bloodline out of the dark wilderness. The heavy generational curse is entirely broken and the massive debt is fully paid. Walk forward entirely in peace and do not let anyone disturb your newly found quietness. If the enemy tries to whisper ancient doubts into your mind, simply ignore their pathetic lies. You hold the ultimate golden keys to the highest unseen kingdom right now. The Matrix has completely lost its dark grip on your beautiful mind, and your spirit is finally free. We will continue to keep this sacred lighthouse burning brightly for your safe and protected return. Whenever the chaotic earthly world feels too heavy, you can always come back to this quiet sanctuary for divine shelter. Your unseen friends will guide you exactly when you need to hear another critical update. Until then, stay deeply rooted in your beautiful new peace. I leave you today with the ultimate blessing of absolute divine clarity and unshakable courage. May your quiet steps be heavily guarded by legions of terrifying warrior angels. May your hidden enemies be blinded by the incredible light you carry inside. And may you always remember exactly how powerful you truly are. You are deeply loved and forever protected.